Okay, so hi everybody. I'm Inbal from the my Klarna team in Tel Aviv, and my talk today is going to be about reproduction. Well, not the regular kind, but actually reproduction of computer programs. So technically speaking, I'm going to tell you about something called a quine. What is a quine, you ask? Well, according to Wikipedia, a quine is a non-empty computer program which takes no input and produces a copy of its own source code as its only output. So why don't we start by examining the following program. What it does is open its own file from the file system and print its content. So obviously, the output is identical to the source code. So what do you think? If it quacks like a quine, it's a quine, right? Wrong. Well, remember we said that a quine mustn't take an input. So reading the source file is definitely taking an input, so this is cheating. But lucky for you, we are going to spend the next 4 minutes learning how to write an actual quine. Okay, so let's think. What we want is to print the source code onto the console. But then we also need to print the print command onto the console, and then we're going to have to print the command that prints the print command. And well, obviously this is not going to work this way, unless we intend to write an infinite program, which we are not, because, well, I still want to get to the Gruna Loon this evening. So, what will we do? It's actually going to be simpler than you think. We're going to have a program that consists of 2 parts. We'll have the data part and the code part. So the data is actually a string that contains the code of the program. Now the code uses the data twice. Once in order to print the data part, and then again to print the code part. So let's implement it. We'll start by creating a multi-line string in Ruby using the here.doc syntax, and don't worry about the content of the string for a second. Next, we're going to write code that prints what we just created. So we printed the data part. Now, recall that we say that the string is about to contain the code of the program. So in order to print the code part, all we have to do is just print the string again. And once we did that, all that is left is just to copy-paste our code into our string. Now, take the next 15 seconds to examine this code. Will it actually print itself? Well, almost. Can you spot what will be different? Okay, so here's the output, and as you can see, it is almost identical, but we are missing the empty line. Now, we could just delete it, of course, but where is the fun in that? Instead, it's going to be really simple to just add it to our code. Can you see how? Yep, so we just need to write some code that prints an empty line, and then we need to add that same code into our string. And voila, we have just completed the task of writing a self-reproducing program in Ruby. Cool, right? Well, but let's face it, Ruby makes our life simple. This is an attempt to do the same in Java. And since we don't have a multi-line string syntax, we're using an array of strings. But other than that, it consists of exactly the same parts as before. But does it work? Not exactly. If you take a closer look, you will see that we have escaping issues. So because we use quotes inside our string, we have to escape them. But then the escaping does not reflect in the output. So to fix that, we need to explicitly replace every quote occurrence in our string with \quote, and we also do a trick of using the ASCII value for the quote character to avoid escaping loops. So with this addition, we have a valid quine in Java. But no matter the language that we choose to implement our quine, note that adding unrelated code to it is super easy. You just need to add that same code into your string. And you can basically write a program that does anything and also outputs itself. And if you don't think this is cool, then check out this self-printing game of life program. It outputs a copy of itself, but with the game grid advanced to the next generation. So if you compile and run the output, you will get the next stage of the game, and so on. So that's cool. So we've seen examples in Ruby, in Java, and C#, and I can tell you that quines are possible in any programming language. I've shown you one way to do it, but there are others as well. And, well, they told me to never end the presentation without a call to action. So try this at home, people. Choose your favorite exotic programming language and try to write a quine in it. And if that's too easy for you, try to write the shortest possible quine in that language. If you're a Rubyist, you should be able to do it using 28 characters only. And a little hint, you may want to use eval. So that's it for me. Thank you very much.